Have you ever noticed that billions of people can watch a soccer match end 0-0 and still call it beautiful, while millions of others feel they have completely wasted their time? That strange difference reveals something far deeper than sports. It reveals how entire cultures learn to experience victory, failure, excitement, identity, and even meaning itself. And one of the most fascinating examples happened on a summer night in California. In 1994, the United States hosted the FIFA World Cup. The stadiums were packed. Television networks invested enormous amounts of money. The world believed America was finally ready to fall in love with soccer. Yet something unexpected happened. After many matches, American viewers kept asking the same question. Wait, that's it? Some games ended in draws. Some ended with only one goal. For soccer fans around the world, the tension was incredible. For many American viewers, it felt unfinished. Researchers studying sports audiences later discovered something fascinating. Many Americans had been raised on sports designed around a guaranteed resolution. In American football, there is a winner. In basketball, there is a winner. In baseball, extra innings continue until somebody wins. Psychologists call this a preference for cognitive closure. The human mind often wants a clear ending, a definite answer, a winner, a loser. But soccer developed differently. The sport teaches millions of fans to live with uncertainty for 90 minutes. Every missed chance increases tension. Every defensive play matters. The drama comes from what might happen, not only from what does happen. And this cultural difference became obvious during the 1994 World Cup. Many Americans were not rejecting soccer itself. They were rejecting an unfamiliar way of experiencing suspense. But that was only the beginning. Because years later, another story would reveal something even deeper. When David Beckham arrived in the United States in 2007 to play for the LA Galaxy, many people believed he would simply be another famous athlete. Instead, he became part of a social experiment. Beckham was already one of the most recognized athletes on earth. His arrival attracted enormous media attention. Children started joining soccer academies in greater numbers. Attendance increased. Merchandise sales exploded. Yet something curious happened. People who previously ignored soccer suddenly became interested. Why? The answer comes from sociology. Humans are strongly influenced by what psychologists call social proof. When respected figures value something, others become more willing to explore it. Beckham did not merely bring soccer skills, he brought status. And status changes perception. A sport once viewed by many Americans as foreign suddenly appeared fashionable, modern, relevant, worth paying attention to. This is one reason cultures change. Not because facts change, but because symbols change. The same game was being played. The same rules existed. The same 90 minutes. Yet millions began viewing it differently. And as soccer continued growing in America, another remarkable story emerged. One that may explain the future of the sport. In the 2022 World Cup, a young American player named Timothy Weah scored for the United States. To many viewers, it was simply a goal. To others, it represented something much larger. Timothy Weah is the son of George Weah, a legendary soccer player from Liberia who later became president of Liberia. His journey symbolized something happening across America. The country was changing. Millions of families arrived from Latin America, Africa, Europe, and Asia. They brought traditions, languages, food, music, and soccer. Children growing up in these families often carried two cultural identities at once: American identity and global identity. Sociologists call this cultural integration. When cultures meet, they do not simply replace one another, they influence one another. Over time, new forms emerge, and soccer became one of the clearest examples. Today, Many young Americans grow up watching the English Premier League, the UEFA Champions League, the FIFA World Cup, and Major League Soccer all at the same time. Their sports identity looks very different from that of previous generations. This helps explain why soccer's popularity in America keeps growing year after year. But there is another reason few people discuss. Advertising. American sports evolved alongside television. Television evolved alongside advertising. And advertising loves interruptions, commercial breaks, timeouts, reviews, halftime segments, more opportunities to sell attention. Economists call attention the most valuable currency of the modern world. Soccer is unusual because it protects attention differently. The game flows continuously. 45 minutes, no commercial interruptions, then another 45. This creates immersion, but it creates fewer opportunities for traditional advertising models. For decades, this made soccer less attractive to major broadcasters compared with sports offering frequent commercial breaks. Yet, modern streaming platforms are changing that equation. Younger viewers increasingly prefer uninterrupted experiences. And suddenly, one of soccer's greatest weaknesses is becoming one of its greatest strengths. What once looked old-fashioned now looks refreshingly modern. And perhaps the most surprising lesson of all is this. The debate was never really about soccer. It was about culture, about expectations, about how people learn to define excitement. Some cultures celebrate constant action. Others celebrate rising tension. Some demand certainty. Others embrace uncertainty. Neither side is necessarily right or wrong. They are simply different ways human beings experience meaning. The American relationship with soccer is not a story about rejecting a sport. It is a story about a culture slowly adapting to a new emotional language, a language spoken by billions of people around the world. And with the United States hosting the 2026 FIFA World Cup alongside Canada and Mexico, the next chapter may be the most important one yet. The question is no longer whether soccer can survive in America. The question is how far it can go. And now I'm curious about your opinion. Would you rather watch a dramatic 0-0 soccer match filled with tension and suspense, or a high-scoring game with many goals but less drama? Tell us your answer in the comments. You may still feel her absence in your mind, but psychology is clear. What hurts now is what's slowly losing control over you. This is not the end. It's the shift you don't yet fully see, and now it appears on your screen. When you thrive without her, the psychological collapse nobody sees. Watch it to understand what your mind is really doing right now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.